In the program Spotlight, now we bring you an exclusive interview with Secretary, Road, Transport and Highways, Giridhar Aramane, on vehicle scrappage policy and the road ahead. Interviewer is AIR correspondent Ashutosh Shukla.
Good evening, listeners. Old and unfit vehicles pollute environment 10 to 12 times more than the fit vehicles. They also pose a greater risk to road safety. For cleaner environment and rider and pedestrian safety, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways recently introduced the Voluntary Vehicle Fleet Modernization Program, VVMP, or Vehicle Scrapping Policy. The policy is aimed at creating an ecosystem for phasing out unfit and polluting vehicles. Today on All India Radio News, we have with us the Secretary, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Mr. Giridhar Aramane, to tell us about the proposed policy. Sir, welcome to All India Radio News.
Thank you.
What is vehicle scrapping policy and why is it needed?
See, over a period of time, many old vehicles without the modern safety features have been procured by the vehicle owners. These vehicles are a burden on the vehicle owners because the maintenance cost, the fuel cost, as well as the safety of these vehicles is below the optimum levels. Recently, during last 2-3 years, Government of India has improved the safety standards, especially the crash norms, and also has insisted on providing features like the seat belts and also the airbags for the driver and the passenger. So these new features in the vehicles will ensure that the vehicle owner will benefit by way of the reduced fuel consumption and also the availability and cost of the spares. Further, the fatalities in case of road accidents will also come down by a substantial number if the car fleet is modernized. So it is essential for the benefit of the vehicle owner that they scrap their old cars and go for a modern car with the necessary safety features and more efficient engines.
What would be the benefits of vehicle scrappage policy for the auto sector?
Auto sector also has developed new models. They have come out with a better car design, better engine design, and especially in terms of the crash features. Now we have many new models which conform to the international, European and American safety standards. So which means that the new models offer better value for money for the vehicle owners, which also implies that as the vehicle owners buy new models, the growth in the automobile industry will also be much more than it was previously. So in terms of benefit to the automakers, there will be increase in the sales, there will be increase in the value of the cars sold. So it's a win-win situation for both automobile industry and the vehicle owners.
What incentives are being provided to promote scrapping of old vehicles?
Firstly, the vehicle owner will get a lot of benefit through the fuel efficiency and reduction in the maintenance cost. That has to be taken into account before looking at the incentives government is offering. The value of the benefits which the vehicle owner will get because of the better features of a new vehicle will be much more than the incentives which we are trying to provide. We have come up with a policy that the road tax has to be cut by the state governments up to 25% for the new vehicles purchased by scrapping their old vehicles. We have also waived off the registration fee. Further, the Association of Automobile Manufacturers is also going to offer some discount on purchase of new vehicles on the certificate of deposit for the scrapped vehicles. All in all, the benefit is going to be substantial. Our initial calculations show that the vehicle owners of, say, a model like Swift Desire will get a benefit of around 1,15,000 rupees over a period of 3 years by scrapping his old vehicle and getting a new vehicle. Further, the establishment of the modern organized scrappage centers, the value given to the old vehicle being scrapped also will go up. So now they will be getting some 15,000-20,000 for old vehicles. It will go up to say 40,000, 45,000. So that is also going to be a benefit because of the new policy and the new infrastructure government is going to build.
What criteria would be used to decide whether a vehicle would be scrapped?
Vehicle scrappage norms are different in different countries. Say, for example, in US or UK or even Germany, incentives were given to the vehicle owners and also to the industry to scrap vehicles older than 8 years or 10 years. But in India, especially with the per capita income being very low and affordability of a automobile being also very difficult, we thought that age limit shall not be the criteria for determining whether a vehicle is end-of-life vehicle or not. So we decided that we'll look at the fitness level of the vehicle, whether the vehicle's engine, the fuel efficiency conform to the PUC norms we have set up. So if the engine produces lot more pollutants than the norms, then it has to be scrapped. So we said that if the vehicle does not conform to the fitness norms, say after 20 years for a private vehicle and 15 years for a commercial vehicle, it has to be scrapped compulsorily. If it fails in the fitness test and the owner has got the facility to ask for a retest, if it fails in the retest, then he has to scrap. We also have provided a appellate provision where he can go to the appellate authority and say that my test was not done properly or my test has certain defects, so please do it again. So that appeal provision also has been included in the guidelines we have issued for scrappage of the vehicles.
How many vehicles are expected to be impacted by this policy?
Our database shows that there are around 1 crore of vehicles in the country which do not have fitness certificate. Many of them are also not registered, in the sense that after 20 years a vehicle has to come for re-registration to us. So these vehicles have not come to us even for re-registration, which means that either they are plying on the roads without registration or they are lying somewhere idle in some scrap yard or some place without getting struck off from the books. So our estimate will be around 1 crore or slightly less or more than that.
How much fitness test going to cost?
Fitness test cost will depend on the type of vehicle. Say for a four-wheeler car, personal vehicle, it will be 300-400. But for a commercial vehicle, it can go up to 1,000 or 1,500. We are prescribing it in the motor vehicle rules. It will not be burdensome, nor it will be prohibitive for the private vehicle owners. We have factored into the affordability also into the entire calculation. We will also ensure that the vehicle fitness centers are established very near to the customer, either at the district headquarter or a taluk headquarter, so that the vehicle owner need not travel all the way to a state headquarter or a big city for getting the test done.
What is the timeline for implementation of this policy?
First, we want to ensure that all the government vehicles are modernized, state government and central government. So 15 years and above vehicles of governments, we propose to scrap by next April. And later, a year after that, from 2023 onwards, heavy commercial vehicles need to be scrapped if they do not conform to the fitness levels prescribed under the rules. The personal vehicles, we plan to implement this from 2024 June onwards.
The policy also proposes to set up vehicle scrapping centers. Can you tell our listeners more about it?
See, at present in the country, we have the vehicle scrappage in the informal sector. Unorganized sector units located in major cities generally buy the vehicles and do the dismantling manually. They do not have any machinery available with them. The manual processes are not efficient. So the recycling, recovery, reuse from the scrapped vehicles is very limited, which causes a serious economic loss to the vehicle owner as well as to the scrappage agent. So we want to modernize the entire system by establishing a modern automated scrappage center where vehicle can be deregistered by connection with the RTOs and also scrapped component by component, glass separately, plastic separately, metal separately, upholstery separately, in such a fashion that we extract maximum value out of the scrappage of the vehicles, thereby providing a better value for the customer and also to the economy. If we can recover all the important components of a vehicle and reuse it or recycle it, that will add a lot of value to Indian economy by way of reduced raw material cost, increased availability of raw materials, especially rare earths and other metals.
Implementation of vehicle scrapping policy is expected to provide a boost to the economy. How many jobs are expected to be created by it?
We are expecting that after establishment of all the automated fitness centers and at least 50 to 60 the vehicle scrappage centers, there will be a boost to the employment by around 35,000. 35,000 figure we arrived at looking at the current requirement. As we start manufacturing the machinery required for this purpose within the country, the number can go up also. and it may require an investment of around 10,000 crores. This kind of investment will bring in great amount of growth in the economy, GDP and per capita income, wherever these are going to be set up. This will be in private sector basically, helped by the state governments by way of land clearances, etc. So the employment potential of this is going to be huge, especially in the recycling processes. And it will also reduce the usage of raw material hitherto being done in the automobile sector.
What have been the key achievements of Ministry of Road Transport and Highways in recent past?
I should go to the highway construction sector, where we have achieved record level of construction last year. We also have taken up construction of 8-lane expressways and 6 to 8-lane access controlled roads in several parts of the country. Delhi to Mumbai expressway, one of our pilot projects, is proceeding very successfully and at the scheduled rate of completion. This year we may inaugurate at least 350 kilometers of Delhi to Mumbai expressway. Delhi-MeerutH expressway is almost complete. We have also constructed several roads connecting remotest parts of the country. We are connecting Ladakh to Himachal Pradesh. We are connecting Kargil to Leh, Manali and various other places in the country. Similarly, in island places like Andamans also, we have constructed large extent of national highways during the previous year. We are also doing lot of technological development in the construction processes. We have prescribed usage of jute, waste plastic and geotextiles in the construction of national highways so that the construction is completed quickly as well as cost efficiently. So these are some of the important achievements during the previous year, and this year we will try to better that record.
India records one of the highest deaths in road accident across the world. So what efforts are being made to reduce these fatalities?
The road fatalities mainly result from engineering and enforcement related issues. Engineering, not only the road engineering aspect, but also of the automobile engineering. As I have just told you, automobile engineering, we have brought in several improvements in terms of the crash norms. Now the improvement in the crumple zone of automobiles has reduced the chance of fatality in case of an accident. Similarly, we are made mandatory for the automobile manufacturers to provide airbag for the driver as well as to the co-passenger in the front seat. This will reduce the number of deaths almost by 30 to 35%. Even for old models, this will be applicable from December this year. Secondly, we are doing great amount of improvement in the road construction. We have identified over last 3 years around 5,900 black spots in the country where there were accidents and loss of life in a major way. So all these 5,900 we will rectify by this year end. So far around 3,500 have been completed, where we have carried out temporary and permanent improvements. Wherever there is a black spot which invites accidents, which results in fatalities, we will ensure that they are all cleared up. And also the construction of new national highways will be according to the best possible standards. We do the safety audit, the design stage itself, while construction, and after construction we'll continue to do the safety audit every few years so that no black spot develops over these roads over a period of time. We have identified more than 200 choke points on the national highways, which we are trying to widen and improve so that these points do not become again a new black spot.
What is the vision of your department for the future?
We want to provide a very safe, very efficient highway facility to our people. All citizens must be able to utilize these roads in a safe fashion with very little cost. Our main aim is to improve the logistics cost to the global standards, that is around 8% of the total economy and not the 14% which it is now.
Sir, thank you for joining us on All India Radio News and informing our listeners about vehicle scrappage policy and achievements of Ministry of Road Transport and Highways.
Thank you very much.
You were listening to an exclusive interview with Secretary Road